Ever wonder what it's like to have a heart attack? Well, let me tell you. It's February, and just over 2 weeks ago, I had a heart attack. I'm 48. I walk my dog about 1.5 to 2 miles every day, eat a pretty veggie heavy diet. I don't smoke, and if I drink, it's like a glass of wine a week. So I would have considered myself very healthy. Not excellent, but very healthy if you had asked me before now. So I was in a conference or attending a conference with my husband. He was in a different part of the conference center, and we were nearing the end of the day, and I was just sitting in my conference chair listening along. All of a sudden, I had sharp pain in my chest, right here, right under my breastbone. And I thought, what the heck is that? That's some kind of muscle spasm. And it didn't go away. I thought, okay, calm down, just some deep breaths, stay cool, don't make a scene. That's going to go away. And I just continued to sit in the conference. And the pain felt like a mixture of when you go outside to exercise in really cold weather and your chest kind of burns from that cold air hitting the inside of your lungs. And after you've cried a really long time and your chest just feels exhausted and tired, it's like a combination of those two things all at once. And I thought to myself, well, what's this? It certainly can't be that thing. I'm too young for that. So we carried on, and everybody finished up. Everybody left. I was waiting in the conference room for my husband to come get me, and the pain just wasn't going away. But I was fine. I was functional. But it was probably an 8. Like I was checking my pulse very discreetly, and like what's going on here? So he came and got me, and we left. Bye, everybody. Good to see you. See you tomorrow, kind of thing. Got in the car, and I said, let me tell you what's going on. I've had this chest pain for a while now. I'm not sure what's happening. And he said, well, what do you want to do? Do we need to go to the hospital? And I said, no, because of course I'm thinking it's not that thing. Let's just go home. Maybe it's heartburn or indigestion. Let's go home. We'll take some medicine. So he drove me home, and on the way, just kind of sustained that level 8 pain and maybe increased a little bit toward the end, so that I started kind of doing some in through the nose, out through the mouth breathing. We got home. He didn't even park yet. I hopped out of the car, sprinted in the house, changed all my clothes because, if it was that thing, I didn't want to go to the hospital in my boots and dress and pantyhose. Changed into some pajamas and took some Gas-X and some Tums, and the pain just wasn't going away. But I wasn't having any other symptoms either. So I flopped down on our bed, and I'm laying there, and I was like, Alexa, what are the symptoms of a heart attack? And she lists off all the symptoms. And I was like, well, I only have one of those things. I only have the chest pain. I didn't have pain in the shoulder. I didn't have numbness, tingling, nausea, sweats. I didn't have anything else on that list. My pulse was pretty steady. We even have a little finger heart monitor, and it was pretty steady. And my blood pressure was like 120 over something, which is a little bit elevated for me, but nothing scary. Or so we thought, right? Not a doctor here. So it just kept getting worse. The pain escalating at this point. And I was like, what is happening? This can't be good. So finally, Greg was like, yep, let's go to the hospital. So he gets me in the car, and we go to the hospital. Of course, I get express treatment, right? I go straight in the door, straight into the back, and they put the EKGs on me, and an IV, and they draw some blood, and I'm still in that, what's going on? It can't be that thing. It can't be the worst. This isn't my life. But something certainly is happening here. So Within a few minutes, they came back and said, yeah, your heart EKG does not look good, does not look normal. And your blood test shows some heart protein in your blood. So normally you have like 0. So if there's any, there's something going on, and I had an elevated amount. So they put us in a room, and still in full denial, right? I'm too young, I'm 48, how can this be happening? I'm healthy. And took some more blood tests over the next hour or so, came back in and said, yep, the heart protein in your blood is just increasing and increasing. We think you had a heart attack, so we're going to admit you. And Greg and I were just dumbfounded. I could not believe that those were the words that were coming out of that doctor's mouth. And so they start the process of admitting me. And all along, I'm like, I shouldn't be here. This isn't happening. Why are we doing these things? They roll me into the lobby to, the elevator lobby to take me upstairs to the cardiac floor. And I'm like, Austin, who is my nurse, Austin, just roll me out the door. This is not happening to me. The exit is right there. Just let the gurney go. I don't want to be here. This is not happening. And he was like, Miss Young, I can't do that. That's really not recommended. I can't force you to stay, but I really recommend that, we go upstairs. So they take me upstairs. They start checking me in upstairs, and with all kind of questions like, do you use a walker or cane every day? Do you have home health care that you rely on? Questions, again, that were not for me. They were not my life. They were not someone who I would have thought was at risk of a heart attack. And so they check me in. The doctor comes in and says, yep, tomorrow we're going to do some tests. And, everybody leaves. Visiting hours are over. They usher Greg out, and I am just in absolutely denial and pinching myself and just dumbfounded again that this was happening to me. So the next day, later in the afternoon, they take me down to get a heart catheter because we were past the point of doing stress tests or anything like that. There was so much heart protein in my blood that they were like, no, you're beyond that. So they take me downstairs to do a heart cath. And again, I'm talking to the nurses down there as they're prepping me. Like, I shouldn't be here. There are a lot of people I know that should be here way in front of me. Maybe I'm in line, but I'm not the first. And they were like, Miss Young, we're going to take good care of you. Don't worry. So the scariest part about that heart cath is, you go into that procedure and they might do nothing. They might put a stent in. They might see heart damage and they might be like, oh, let's go. We got to go do some surgery. You're really in this unknowing spot going into that procedure. So we went on back and started the procedure, and what felt like 3 minutes, probably more like 30 minutes, they were bringing me back out of anesthesia and telling me, yep, we saw what happened. And it's called a SCAD, a spontaneous coronary artery dissection. And it happens to young women with no pre-existing conditions. We don't know why it happens, and we don't know if it could happen again to you. But we didn't put a stent in. The artery will actually heal itself. And we're going to do a ECG, echocardiogram, tomorrow to see if there's any damage to your heart. But good news is we know exactly what happened. Bad news is, we don't know if it could happen again. So a spontaneous coronary artery dissection is where there's a small tear in the inner lining of your artery and blood starts flowing behind it, and then it builds up and blocks the artery. You could read more about this on Mayo Clinic website, like we did and everybody in our family has been doing. For 2 hours, I didn't have another symptom or sign that I was having a heart attack. I only had that pain right here under my chest. And it wasn't the elephant sitting on your chest like so many people or so many, pieces of literature say. It was not that. It felt totally different, which is, again, why I was like, this isn't that bad thing. So, cautionary tale of this unknown to me before now. If you're thinking that you're totally healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, this is one of those things that can crop up and get you. So if you or anyone you know is in that category of young, healthy women, or fairly healthy women, let them know about this, and, not to discount what those feelings are, and that it might be actually a heart attack.